guys, it is Sunday, February 8th, 2026, and we are here for our next card pull. Let's see, where we left off last week is we had pulled the Three of Wands. So we've still been carrying through the fire energy, which has been just pulling us forward into Fire Horse season, which is about to happen on the 17th. So that's when we actually enter the true new year, or Fire Horse year, which is the Chinese New Year. But you know how I've been yammering about Fire Horse energy. We are definitely getting very close. So I'm curious what we're going to pull out today and if it's going to continue to have that trend of fire to it or whatnot. Neat astrological notes. Let's see. Mercury has now stationed into Pisces. It did on Friday. And the reason why I'm mentioning these things is, one, just to, educate you guys, but also because Mercury in Pisces is a really, really lovely placement. And what it is that Mercury is the planet of intellect and communication. So whatever sign Mercury is in is essentially going to be how you choose to communicate, how your thoughts are, how you process your thoughts, and how you communicate those thoughts. And it being in Pisces, which is a water sign, and Pisces is a very intuitive, emotional sign. All the water signs are essentially emotional because water is emotions in astrology and tarot. But it being in Pisces is actually really beautiful because it will recenter our communication to come from the heart. And what's more beautiful than heart-centered communication or heartfelt communication? And I know we've had some kind of tough topics going on in the world around us, and just me really emphasizing that we really need to start to find our soul tribes and find the people that are most valuable to us, and find the connections that are really meaningful and are something you want to invest in, and for the long run, long term, those kind of things. And so when Pisces enters into Mercury, or Mercury enters into Pisces, that really brings forth that desire, that need to communicate from the heart, to tell the ones you love that you love them and how you care and feel for them, and tell the ones that are meaningful in your life that you appreciate them. And I'm just really encouraging you guys to just really reflect and feel from the heart, and tell the ones that are important to you that they're valuable to you, or all the feel-good feelings. It's like, people really need to be connecting with each other. I think I said that at the last card reading, that we really need to start finding the people that are valuable in our lives during these really hard times, and to lean into what feels warm, what feels safe, what feels comforting, what feels valuable, and something that's worth emotional investments. And just really, it's just that feel good. It's that feel good. Like, who doesn't want to feel warm, safe, loved? Just all of those things. Like, really tap into that, guys. And Mercury being in Pisces will really open up that gate for you, will really help you do that inner reflecting and that deep intuitive thinking, and it'll help you put them into words rather than stumbling over in your head, like how to articulate emotions or how to articulate those inner watery, deeper thoughts. Mercury being in Pisces will help you do that, will open up that gate that you keep running into, or that inability for you to communicate on a heartfelt level. So really step into the power of Mercury being in Pisces, guys, because it is a really nice, soft place to be. And with all the sharp edges in the world right now, we can use a little bit of some softness. So I really love Mercury being in Pisces. I think it's going to be really good for people. And not too soon after that, an even more lovey-dovey situation happens where Venus then steps into Pisces, and that's extra emotions, extra feel goods, extra I love yous, extra So I don't know. What do my friends say? They're like, you love love. I'm like, yeah, I know. So anyways, guys, love, because it's here. So with that said, I have this really cool deck. So here I am talking about like soft, warm, you know, sympathy. Why sympathy? I don't know. Anyways, all those good feelings and all those good words. And then I picked the darkest deck that I have. Whatever. What am I? I am a heavy Taurus and Scorpio energy. So those are like polar opposites across the like astrological wheel. So it's like I lean into like really warm grounded stuff and then really dark edgy stuff. So like this tracks for me. Anyways, so this is a deck made by Sean Koss, and he is a artist that I've been following for a really long time. He is pretty big out there now, or getting pretty big, but I've been following him well before that. And he does a lot of really creepy, dark artwork. He got his big recognition when he made a book about all the different types of mental conditions, and he drew like his interpretations of those mental conditions with weird, fucked up, dark art, and I love it. And he's just carried that outward into all kinds of stuff, you know, with just creating all kinds of whatever with his art. And one of them was a tarot deck. So of course I was all up on that shit. So it's really, really, really cool. Not everybody's cup of tea, so sorry if you're not liking it, but tough. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this. Last week, I think I already said it, we had 3 of Wands, so I am curious to see with all this Pisces energy happening, what we're gonna pull out today. So I'm gonna do 5 shuffles. If anything doesn't fly out, then the last card on the top will be what we grab. So here we go. And this is a really slippery deck, so hopefully they don't go flying. Oh. So that is the Wheel of Fortune. Not the edgiest of his cards, so you guys are lucky. You're lucky you didn't get darker stuff. So Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune in tarot is the Wheel of Karma. So karma, guys. Everybody knows the term karma. Everybody knows that, you know, oh, you're gonna get your karma, or karma's been served, you know, like when people all say that stuff. So, and it's also the card, it's a major arcana card, which we have not gotten one yet in this entire stretch that I've been doing this. And it's the card number 10. So 10s we've been getting this entire time, ends of cycles, beginning of new. So that tracks. With karmic stuff like this in the Wheel of Karma, I want to kind of break down for you guys like what, oh gosh, I'm just dropping these cards everywhere. What karma really is. So karma is, yeah, as you guys have perceived it, you know, it is the result of poor decisions, poor choices, poor actions. You do create a level of karma that is going to be delivered back to you, because you reap what you sow. But not all karma is bad. So with a lot of things, the Wheel of Fortune in tarot is essentially you are the person, or you and your spirit is what dictates which way that wheel turns, whether you're creating karma or dharma. Dharma is the good end of karmic energy. So dharma is whenever you are making good choices and taking action in a good positive direction, and you know, positive choices and things like that, you create dharma. But without karma, there isn't dharma. And without dharma, there is not karma. So this wheel is always in flux. Like, it's never just constant dharma. I mean, everything's perfect. Like, no, it's a balance. It's constantly changing. And it's a changing wheel because we humans are constantly changing. We're evolving emotionally all the time. So it's merely impossible to not have a karmic or dharma result in your life. But you can speed up or slow down the wheel, or you can kind of not dictate, but kind of get the wheel to turn in a certain way that's beneficial to you if you make conscious choices to be aware. Self-awareness, guys. be aware of the choices you're making. Be aware of how the effects of those choices have on not just your life, but others around you. Be aware of the thoughts that you have and your own inner dialogue. You may be making good choices, but if you are treating yourself like shit, you're going to still be creating a karmic pattern that is not going to be beneficial to you. So this card, I think, comes out now to tell all of us, especially in light of everything we've already been touching on, and, you know, global events that have been really heavy and things like that. More so than ever, the wheel of karma, or wheel of fortune, is very much turning right now. Sometimes it turns real slow and it's kind of just across like generations of things, but otherwise it can be really fast depending on what globally can be going on for the collective. And I think right now this wheel for me is just like, it's like all over the place because there's so much shit happening. But let's reel this in a little more close to home for you guys. Creating karma is not difficult. It just doesn't always mean it has to be negative. Whenever you are trying to make a decision, whenever you are wondering why bad things keep happening to you, or why you're always seeming to attract negative energies or toxic people, or events that just keep not panning out as you had hoped, look inwards and think about the seeds you're sowing and the things you've done and the choices you have made, and think of it as a broader perspective. And how are those choices being made? What intentions do you truly have? Are your intents pure? Are your intents genuine? Because we can all sit here and be like, well, I that's not this, or I always did it this, you know, like, I don't know. I can't really make an example. All I can say is, guys, that you can't very well sit and keep playing martyrdom roles in your life, or woo-woo, poo-poo me, why does this always happen, and not truly be more cognizant about what is it you're doing that is attracting that karmic energy. It's shitty to say, but like, shitty things happen to people because you have potentially made shitty choices to draw in that shitty energy. Yeah, it really is that simple, guys. I'm not saying like, oh, if you're positive in sunflowers all the time, everything's perfect. No, it's not. That's not how karma works. But on a soulful level, if you guys or anybody you know seems to always be making the wrong choices, but yet they can't understand why the results are bad, or why they're attracting bad outcomes, like, change up the choices you're making. Reflect, look inwards, think about how those choices are actually rippling out, that ripple effect in life. It's easy to get tunnel vision on something you want, or something you need to do or don't want to do, or it's very easy to have knee-jerk reactions about things. I just really want to stress with the Wheel of Fortune, think before you speak, think before you leap, think. And I'm having a tie together moment right now because Mercury is in Pisces. I really feel like this is the time where you can change the trajectory of your karma or dharma by having more inner dialogue with your own self, with your higher self, with whatever is inside of you that you tend to try to shut up or shut down or push in the corner. Now is the time to really tap into that intuitive, empathic aspect that you have in you. I think I've said this many, many reads ago, like, empathy is a superpower, guys. Like, we all have it in us. And if you're sick of things always turning out shitty, if you're sick of things always being away or not going the way you want, or blah, 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 there's a reason why your own personal karmic wheel is turning backwards on you or isn't going the direction you want. So really do some inner thinking. Really go into the emotional aspect of yourself and really reflect on okay, have I been doing this whole time because I'm in denial of what I really want for myself? Have I been making this choice this whole time because it's the easier choice and I don't have to do the work to change instead? Have I been attracting these kind of things because I actually hate myself? You know, like, those are things, these are really hard things to really think about. But like, if you genuinely don't feel you're worthy of something, or you don't feel worthy of a particular life, well, then the wheel's gonna be like, all right, then I'll just keep giving you this horse shit that you hate so much, but you don't think you're deserving of better, so I guess that's where we're at. So it's really a matter of using that intuitive empathic abilities that we have in us, changing our thinking, changing where our brain tends to always go in those dark corners of like, well, I'm not worth it, or this is too hard, or this person's this, or, you know, this isn't good enough, I'm not good enough, or whatever negative loops that we have in our head. If we keep feeding those loops, the wheel's gonna keep turning against us. So that's where Pisces being in Mercury really helps open that door we all tend to nail shut with every fucking hammer in the planet of emotions. Oh, don't do emotions, guys. Emotions are bad. They're taboo. Emotions complicate things. You know what? No, they don't. You complicate things. You make emotions complicated. They are part of the human existence. And having healthy understanding of your own inner workings and your own emotional wheelhouse is the first step to understanding the karmic patterns of your life. And when you start to see the karmic patterns of your life, when you start to see how this particular emotional pattern, and this stuff can, like, I'm talking, guys, this shit could be coming from fucking childhood. Like, you know, oh, that deep inner healing shit, you know, oh, here she goes, going off on her woo-woo. Well, it is, because it's true. That deep inner healing, that deep inner reflection, that is what Mercury in Pisces is imploring you to do. Because healing is not a one and done thing. Healing isn't just a good long talk to your therapist. Healing isn't just, well, I got on my fucking antidepressants. You know, like, that's not true healing. Healing is when you go inwards and you genuinely open that barred, locked, chained door and look at your inner self, whether it's your wounded inner child, your PTSD from the past. I mean, my heart goes to anybody that's sitting there listening to me right now that's like, I am never fucking opening that door again. I don't want to think those thoughts. I don't want to feel those feelings, blah, 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 blah. I am not ever looking at those again. I hear you and I understand, but my darlings, you won't have a choice, because karma is going to make you look, or it's going to keep serving you shit on a platter if you don't face your own inner demons, if you don't face your own inner wounds and your emotional shortcomings that you refuse to nurture and heal. And I really, really feel like this card coming out is very much relevant to Pisces being a very strong energy going into our two most emotionally important planets, which is, well, 2 out of 3. The moon's one of them too. But right now it's going to be Mercury, and soon enough it's going to be Venus. And I am now at 19 minutes, so I got to wrap this up. But emotions, guys, they're beautiful, they're painful, they're exciting. All the emotions of the human experience is something that we can genuinely say is ours and ours alone. There's nothing else out there that can feel the depths that we are capable of feeling. So I really, really encourage you guys, start turning your wheel in the right direction, and start now. Change your thought process and change where your head goes, because love, guys. We love. And that's just the best emotion of them all. Ooh, look at that, 9:55. Bye.